in the Caribbean region and internationally who come here to enjoy the St. Kitts Music Festival. So Minister Henderson will be joining me, is expected to join me very shortly for us to have a conversation on the St. Kitts Music Festival. In the meantime, I will share with you some updates on Hurricane Beryl and how it has been impacting the Caribbean region and where it is now. Hurricane Beryl was passing the Cayman Islands on Thursday morning as a major Category 3 storm after roaring past Jamaica, where it brought fierce winds and heavy rain. Earlier, as a powerful Category 4 storm, Beryl killed at least 7 people and caused significant damage in the southeast Caribbean. The Miami-based National Hurricane Center said that the Cayman Islands were expected to see strong winds, dangerous storm surge, and damaging waves. Despite being forecast to weaken slightly over the next day or two, Beryl was still at major hurricane strength when it passed Jamaica, the center said. Wind-whipped rain pounded the island for hours as residents heeded authorities' call to shelter until the storm had passed. Power was knocked out in much of the capital of Kingston. As of Thursday morning, Beryl's center was some 50 miles southwest of Grand Cayman Island, with maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour, the Hurricane Center said. It was moving west-northwest at 20 miles per hour with hurricane force winds extending about 45 miles from the storm's center. Major hurricane strength is defined as a Category 3 hurricane or higher, which means maximum sustained winds of at least 11 or 111 miles, while a hurricane has maximum sustained winds of at least 74 miles per hour. Beryl was forecast to pass just south of the Cayman Islands and still be a hurricane when it reaches Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula early Friday, according to the Hurricane Center. Jamaica's hurricane warning ended Thursday, but a warning is in effect for the Cayman Islands and parts of the Yucatan's east coast. A hurricane watch was also posted for parts of the peninsula. Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness said Wednesday evening that Jamaica, his island nation, hadn't seen the worst of what could possibly happen. Quote, "We can do as much as we can do as humanly possible, and we leave the rest in the hands of God," end of quote, Holness said. Several roadways in the country's interior settlements were impacted by fallen trees and utility poles, while some communities in the northern section were without electricity, according to the government's information service. Before Beryl's arrival in Kingston, people had earlier boarded up windows, fishermen pulled their boats out of the water, and workers dismantled roadside advertising boards to protect them. Took one more night on the town. You're listening to the Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Marsha Henderson, joining us on the program shortly. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation.
Is unknown. Protect your life, your family, and your valuables from unforeseen circumstances. Let National Caribbean Insurance give you the peace of mind that you so deserve. At NCI, we offer a suite of affordable insurance plans that can be tailored to ease your financial burden. We aim to deliver exceptional products to satisfy all your insurance needs. Whether life, health, motor, or property insurance, NCI has the right solution for you. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales professionals are ready and able to assist you. Let National Caribbean Insurance Company Limited help you to prepare for the unexpected. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Let's meet at Mem's Pizzeria at Prospect this Thursday, July 4th for the TDC Senior Kaiso Eliminations. The event starts at 8 p.m. with amazing performances by 22 talented Kaiso competitors such as This and That, Nutsy, Badman Pola, The Undertaker, Sabu, Murray, Invincible, Empress Lyric, Kido, Daddy Fresh Cole, Baker, Popo Wheeler, Suki, Westside, Astro, Naki, Sweeties, Mighty J, Lady Smooth, Lady Destiny, and Giro as they compete for a spot in the TDC Senior Kaiso semifinals. Also, make sure not to miss the special guest performance from the reigning monarch, King Hollywood. The night will be accompanied by the Culturama All-Star Kaiso Band alongside the Chorus Angels. The competition will be presided over by Rudy, the Water Rush Boss. Admission only $20, making it an affordable evening of delicious food, refreshing drinks, and fantastic Kaiso performances. It's gonna be a night to remember. See you there.
Time is time, and the team at MVI Connect respects your time. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, MVI Connect makes your cross-channel crossing stress-free with its on-time, consistent, convenient, comfortable, and safe cross-channel auto ferry service. It's simple. Go online to iConnectSKN.com. Book a departure and return time that's convenient for you. Arrive at least 15 minutes before departure. Show your QR code, drive on, turn, and park. Then drive off. MVI Connect. On time. Every time. Online ticket purchase encouraged to guarantee your trip. Ticket purchase at dock may be available if space allows.
Good morning, St. Kitts and Nevis, and welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius. As I mentioned earlier, joining me in studio is Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Marsha Henderson, and today we will be speaking about the St. Kitts Music Festival that was held over the weekend from the 27th through 29th. We know St. Kitts and Nevis had thousands of people here at our shores enjoying the festival and venturing deeper into St. Kitts and getting an opportunity to see our attraction sites and enjoying our local cuisine, and the list goes on and on and on. But it was an awesome time. I had the opportunity to attend the music festival. It was awesome, and I think the listeners can definitely say the same. What are your overall thoughts of the festival? How do you feel about it?
Good morning to all listening. I am a bit under the weather, so you're going to hear it in my voice, but I definitely couldn't miss the opportunity to, come and give a recap on the festival, particularly before I go into my own views to thank our sponsors, our dedicated sponsors, those who continue to come on board year after year. We couldn't do it without you, and we are appreciative of the partnership over the years. The volunteers as well, who continue to commit their time, and the dedicated teams, those who work within the ministry, the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, and even those who come on and volunteer in the various areas, whether it's in protocol, those who worked extremely hard at the park to make sure that the venue was transformed into what it was. I just want to, place on record my extreme gratitude to all of you for the successful execution of the 26th edition of the St. Kitts Music Festival. And so in that vein, of course, Devon, yes, I think we can call it a success.
Absolutely.
Gate receipts, we had a number of on all nights. We don't have the figures yet, but the team is working on collecting that. But we can say that we had a full audience on all the nights. But we measure the success of the music festival differently. And so we measure by flights, the filling of the seats, all the song and dance about getting additional flights. The flights cannot be coming into the destination empty.
Right.
Especially at this time of the year, where we usually call it the slow season, and we were able to see all of the flights, including the additional lift, because we got additional lift from American Airlines just for the Wednesday up to the Sunday, and even those flights came in filled, and the additional legacy carriers like JetBlue and all the others that come, they came filled. From our reports as well, when we checked prior to the festival a few days before, the occupancy rates as well were up at the hotels. Wow. And that is one of the key performance indicators for us when we are measuring the success of the festival. We look at we haven't gotten the results yet from the assessments that we want to do in terms of the economic impact.
Okay.
That of course is going to take some time before we can get that back, but you can tell the nail shops were filled, people were getting their hair done, and even from the fringe events, yes, persons who attended the White Sands, the what's the other one that was on the Wednesday, the binge arrival
party,
and the one that is Express Events held on the Wednesday as well. So we can count it a success, but we'll wait as well to see the economic impact on the country, and then we can make a definitive determination.
What has been the feedback from your colleagues in terms of the ministers of tourism, sponsors, stakeholders for the festival?
Right. So we haven't had the opportunity as yet, because the festival only ended on Saturday.
Okay.
We haven't, today, the team is doing a post-mortem, but we haven't met back with our sponsors as yet post the festival. Some of them we spoke to during the festival would have indicated, that they were pleased with how things were going. Some of them had corporate boxes within the festival, and we were able to go around and have a chat with them. I met with the Cabinet of Ministers on Tuesday. We had cabinet, and from all accounts, they were satisfied that the monies allocated to us to execute the festival, were used properly.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. We know the very important role vendors, sponsors, stakeholders play in ensuring the success of the festival. What can they do differently in the years to come to make it an even better experience?
Right. So that's two separate groups of stakeholders, the vendors and the sponsors.
Yes.
So the vendors, if you're referring to those who vend at the festival itself, those would be the local artisans and those who sell the food and drinks. Our visitors are looking for an authentic experience. And so the music festival, as much as it's patronized by our locals, and even our locals are looking for that experience.
Right.
But most of the persons whom the product is, who we cater for, when they come to the island for the festival, they're looking for an authentic Kitchen experience. So when they come to the grounds, they want local food. They don't want to get the hamburger. We like to say we're not a hamburger destination, but they would want the cook-up, the sauce. If they're there, they want to grab some conch chowder. They want to, experience our local cuisine. They want to be able to buy our local candles, like the wax memories, the soaps. They want to see our culture on display. So those that are involved in that aspect, the vendors, can cater to, that market. In terms of the sponsors, we have sponsors who bring contribution in all forms, whether it's cash, kind, even I don't think ZIZ was on board, and maybe this is my opportunity to try to get you guys involved next year. But even the media houses, and to me that is the significant part, because for us, after we execute the festival, what we are hoping to get on the investment into the festival is the visibility of the destination. And so it is important for media houses, influencers like you.
Right.
You can consider yourself a local influencer. And this year we had some of our local influencers as well helping with the local promotion. But in the source markets, we use influencers that are in those markets and media houses in those markets. And I think ZIZ and all, even the radio stations here, have a reach beyond our shores and even in the diaspora. And so I think, the partnership with our vendors, our stakeholders is extremely important. And, we will make every effort in the ministry to continue to build and work on these relationships.
I just spoke about the vendors in terms of those who would sell on the different nights. We also have to look at the vendors in terms of the arts and crafts that you may not see on the night of the festival, but when you get the chance to venture deeper, you could go to the different attraction sites and get to see what they have on sale and patronize their service.
Absolutely. And so they play just as a significant role as those who sell on the grounds of the festival. And they understand their role. As a matter of fact, we meet with them all during this time, which is what we call the off season before the season starts in October. We continue to meet with our stakeholders to remind them of the training, the destination awareness, product enhancement, and all those things. So I think those, in that aspect, they have a full appreciation of their role and what it means to be, what it means in terms of welcoming visitors to our shores.
And definitely understanding that the purpose of the St. Kitts Music Festival is to fill that space for the lull season. Around this time things are really slow in terms of the tourism. So to have people come to St. Kitts, whether it is via sea or via air, is definitely the focus. What can we offer differently next year that we did not do this year to ensure that people keep coming for the St. Kitts Music Festival?
Right. And that's a really good question, because this a lot of times depends on the acts selected.
Okay.
And I say a lot, even you, Devonne, I saw your contribution to the discussion. But there must be some global appeal.
Yes.
And I think people sometimes don't understand that. So we look for trending artists. We look at what's popular within our local markets, but we also must look at what's appealing globally, because this is where we export the product. And prior to being the Minister of Tourism, I was just like everybody else, jumping in. Oh, bring so and so, bring so and so, bring this, you know. But if you understand who you're catering to, then you must then understand that there must be some sort of appeal to that market. And so when we got Third World, it appealed to a lot of persons, particularly in the UK market.
Yes.
And we have those seats to fill on British Airways. And then it appealed to us. I see a number of requests for a number of artists. And yes, they appeal to us locally, but we also, and we appreciate the local attendance, mind you.
Yes.
We are happy for the local attendance. Our local audience continue to contribute to the success of the festival. But those are some of the things we look at. Global appeal. What can we do differently? Make sure the destination is more visible. And so yesterday when we had a meeting, we had our interagency meeting at the ministry, we asked for the stories from all the media houses that we invited here, and they're going to be published shortly. And those things, we look at our influencers who are going to be able to sell the destination. I think that is what we need to be doing differently. Those who, have influence in the different markets, and some of our local influencers as well. So I think that is what we can do differently. We can make sure we have the right balance of artists so that we can make sure everybody is satisfied, our global audience and our local audience. We also think that this might be the time to maybe go back to the drawing board to look at the format of the festival. And so if you looked at the comments we got last year, and mind you, we don't take it as criticism. If it's constructive, we take it. But if it's malicious, we just ignore it. So there was the concern about the sound. Last year, we went back and we met with the sound system, and you could see the difference in the sound.
Absolutely. Yes. It was impeccable.
Right. And so we're open to suggestions. We're open to persons, leaving their comments and as to ways we can improve the festival. But if you just want to be malicious, trust me, it's not going to get you anywhere. Right. But if you say, last year we said the sound wasn't good, I think there were some other suggestions about including certain acts, because last year we had Valiant and Skilly Bang, and even my son was like, Mommy, there's young good artists, bring them back. But if you looked, a lot of them didn't give you solid performances like some of the acts we had this year. So you must find a delicate balance between trending and artists who can give you hits after hits, solid performances, good repertoires. There must be a balance. Otherwise, you're going to have trendy performances, trendy artists, and it's just going to be a lull. So there must be a balance.
And that shouldn't be the only thing that one looks for when you're bringing in an artist, in terms of, this person is trendy. But when they come, you don't get what you've been looking for.
So some of them are just to get people through the gates. That's it. But then what happens to the show? So you have some artists who they're on there because they're going to be pulling people, to the gates. But you must also have the balance of that. The show is going to be, especially if you're going to invite people from all the way overseas to come to the music festival, and then what?
I know. So you're listening to the Ed Sheeran's ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation.
Watch your step there, little man. That party's falling into the sea.
But Daddy, when it all slips into the sea, where will we live?
Well, son, that would take a long time. So let's not worry about that right now. Just enjoy the beach, okay?
Daddy, when Grandpa brought you to the beach, was it slipping in then?
I can't remember, but that shed over there was not so close to the water, so I guess so.
So, Daddy, when I bring my children to the beach, will there even be a beach still? I learned all about climate change in school, and teachers said we have to change our habits or it would be even worse.
So, big man, what do you think we should do?
Really? Who is the daddy here anyway?
Okay. We will ask your teacher where she got her information, and then we'll do our own little part.
Good. because I want to keep coming to the beach with you, even when you're like 100.
Change your heart, change your habit. We the people can change how we approach the impact of climate change. A message of hope from Island Resilience, promoting a climate of change.
This is my land, my island, our home. It's time to come together to keep her forever resilient and strong.
Island Resilience, promoting a climate of change. The Climate Change Adaptation and Sustainable Land Management Initiative of the OECS Commission, funded by the European Union.
Go to islandresilience.org for more information or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne, Cornelius, and thank you for joining me today. If you are just tuning in studio with me is Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Marsha Henderson, and we are speaking about the St. Kitts Music Festival held last week and its successes. How impactful is the St. Kitts Music Festival to the local economy? I mean, we can see at the surface where service providers, we made mention of the hair salons, the nail techs, the rental companies, but how impactful is it and what does it mean to St. Kitts and Nevis looking back? Well, you've been the minister since 2022.
That's not a long time.
But 26 years now we've been doing this thing for.
Yes, and I think even before I became the minister, I never appreciated the impact that a festival such as the music festival can have on the economy. We don't have the data yet. Like I said, where the data is going to be analyzed for the purposes of having the assessment done, the economic impact assessment. But from all accounts, I'm told that the outside of visibility for the destination, there is significant economic impact on different sectors of the economy, not just those related to tourism, but other sectors as well.
Awesome. What are the, I wanted to ask what are the numbers in terms of how many people travel to St. Kitts, and you mentioned you don't have the numbers as yet.
The exit surveys and all those things are still being...
Okay. Going forward, so next year we're celebrating 27 years of the St. Kitts Music Festival. We are nearing 30. What can we expect in the not too distant future? We've looked at what we could do differently. We've looked at the vendors and all of that. But what can we expect next year and going forward?
I think I started by saying that the committee feels that this is the time for us to maybe go back to the drawing board and see how, if at all, changes can be made to the model. And of course that has to do with the sustainability of the festival because it costs us about $10 million to execute a festival of this kind, and as well as to allow us to compete with other festivals. So there are a lot of other upcoming festivals, like in the BVI. There's one that just recently emerged, and then there are other festivals in Jamaica, St. Lucia, and a lot of other destinations are also having festivals with the same objective of getting people to their destination. So, and these festivals are being executed by the Ministry of Tourism in all of the destinations, not by the creative economy, which suggests that the objective is to get visitors to the destination. So for us now to be able to compete with those destinations, we think it's important for us at this point to look at the current model and see if there are changes that can be made. Now we want to also do some consultation on it with members of the public and stakeholders, of course, to see how it would work. So we're thinking maybe I saw even on the discussion you had maybe 2 nights, and some people was like, no, I'm not coming flying there just for 2 nights. But there's Dream Weekend in Jamaica, and it's a party, a concert. And I think we tried to toy with that last year when we had the Festival Village, where you have a concert on the main stage, and then on the Festival Village there's a fete. So we are going to be looking. Today is the first meeting of the committee, and there would be a series of meetings thereafter for us to actually do dissecting of the festival. It's 25 years old, and see if it's working well, and if it's not, what changes we need to make.
Tell us about talks in terms of with the different stakeholders. As you made mention of the fact that this event and other events across the region, they are organized by the Ministry of Tourism, the tourism officials, with the purpose being that we want people to come to St. Kitts and experience St. Kitts.
Right.
So tell us about the talks that the ministry or the tourism authority has had with service providers, the taxi operators, the people who manage our tourist attractions, our restaurants, and all of these things. How has those conversations been, and what do you look forward to in the years to come?
Okay, and so our conversations with our stakeholders and partners are not specific to the music festival.
Okay.
Because our mandate is beyond that.
Right.
This festival is just a part of the overall tourism product.
Okay.
And so we have, for all stakeholders, once you're a participant or a service provider within the industry, then you are exposed to training, and this training is continuous. So people understand. So we're going to start the service excellence training, for example, next month, August, and all of our stakeholders are exposed to it, whether you're a taxi driver, tour operator, Alorub vendor, primate petting vendor, that's the monkey vendors, those on the beach, the bars, whether you're at Black Rocks, Gibbons, the strip recently launched in Sandy Point, whether it's Frigate Bay, whether you're a merchant at Port Zante. We do several consultations consistently with our stakeholders so that they understand the trends in tourism, what our visitors are saying, the feedback. So we continuously work to keep the product fresh. So it's not just for the music festival.
Okay.
There's no need to meet with them specifically for that.
Okay.
They understand visitors come in, and we got to step up to the plate. Whether it's for the festival, restaurant week that's coming up starting on Sunday, they understand, and they always step up to the plate. I must commend them. We do have some challenges sometimes. We don't agree on everything. That's us, the ministry and SKTA and the stakeholders, but they always Devonne, step up to the plate, and from every time we go and get ratings, they rate our stakeholders really high, whether it's the taxi drivers, and some of them just warn me all the time when they get what they want, but they execute well.
Awesome. You're listening to The Edge on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. We open the phone lines and we'll begin taking your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. We have about 5 minutes. We're going to have to break our program early for the midday newscast. But please call us 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. If you have the calls right now, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
From the heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge, with host Devonne Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
Hello and welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. We have a caller. Hello caller, you're on the air. Good morning. Hello caller, you're on the air. Good morning. Okay, we're not getting that caller. The phone lines remain open, 465-2555 or 718-577-2916, which is our overseas line. We take your calls. If you're just tuning in, you are listening to The Edge for Thursday, July 4, 2024. And in studio with me is Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Marsha Henderson. And we're speaking on the St. Kitts Music Festival, the successes of the festival.
And of course the fringe events.
And the fringe events.
The gospel concerts.
Yes.
The private beach parties. Yes.
And that helped to build the anticipation and the excitement for the festival. So, at least a week into the festival, you felt it coming.
Yes.
You definitely felt it coming.
Yes.
Tell us about some of those fringe events, and then we're looking at the destination. As we made mention of the fact earlier that the St. Kitts Music Festival. Okay, we have a caller. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
You have to turn off your radio, please.
Sorry. Okay, sorry. Hello.
Yes, caller, go ahead.
The minister was talking about over Black Rock Council, right?
Yes.
But I like to do me a favor. I live Black Rock, but I go there sometimes.
Yes.
And when I look, when the taxi them come and the safari them come, when the tourists them go into the bars, they call them back and say, come, I have drink.
Yes.
For years now, I've been seeing that, and that is not right. Them one is making no people out there seldom make anything.
Right. So I'm happy you're saying this on air, because at our recent stakeholder meeting, where we had all the stakeholders, this was one of the concerns voiced by the vendors at Black Rock and even those on the strip. So it's not even unique to Black Rocks that taxi and tour operators are now selling drinks on their truck, and of course this is cutting out other stakeholders in the industry, and it's something that was ventilated at the stakeholder meeting. We intend to come up with a policy position on it, and I want it to be said that the ministry is who just came up with this. But of course it's a concern shared by other stakeholders in the industry, that people are selling drinks on their trucks. And cutting out some of the stakeholders. And it's not unique to Black Rocks.
Yes, okay, thank you.
All right, caller, thank you so much. Let's take this other call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Hi, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Cornelius, good morning.
Good morning. Could you speak up a bit, please?
Yes, good morning.
Yes.
The tree I tell you about yesterday, and Mac Night more important than any festival for you.
What was that? The tree?
There's a tree in the Magnate area that needs to be cut down, but I'm not remembering the exact area where the tree is. Okay. But maybe the caller could call back. She can call back
and indicate where the tree is. That can be addressed. And of course, I'm very accessible, so that could have been said to me. I also have empowerment officers in the community, the constituency. They're out daily, and those things can be said to them as well. I also walk the constituency. I see a number of overgrown properties with and owners who are neglected to maintain them. And of course, as a government, we also, and the representative, we are coming up with solutions. In fact, we're going to Parliament soon to discuss this issue in the form of legislation and how we are going to deal with it. But once the caller calls back, she can indicate where exactly, and we will make sure it's addressed.
Awesome. Well, unfortunately, we are out of time. It's 11:45. We're going to have to break the program early to make way for our midday newscast. But thank you so much for accepting.
Thank you for having me, Devonne.
Invitation.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Share information about the St. Kitts Music Festival. This is an annual event that Kittitians and Nivisians and people in the region and internationally in our source markets, North America, Canada, Europe, look forward to each year. It's growing, it's getting bigger and better. We're gonna have to, when I say we,
get a home for the festival.
Absolutely, because it's beginning to outgrow the spaces that we have been
And you see,
using, which is good.
Yes, it's a good problem to have. You see, we took up both fields, the cricket and the football, to accommodate the event. And so, yes, that's one of the things we're definitely going to have to consider.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and until next time, you take care.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure.
Good one. Awesome. You've been listening to The Edge for Thursday, July 4, 2024. I've been your host, Devonne Cornelius. Coming up next is our midday newscast. Stay tuned.
From the heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge, with host Devonne Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.